Yes, very happy to be here. My name is Morten Rynning. I'm sitting in Oslo, Scandinavia. So as with Daniela, it's pretty over midnight, pretty dark, but glad to be here. So you mentioned talking about how can we make a better world, and CityQ is dedicated on helping on urban mobility. And as mobility has a lot of issues, we believe that there's a huge impact in enabling downsizing and EVs. And saying I'm sitting in Norway, and you might know that Norway has the highest density of EVs in the world. 94% of all cars sold are EVs. So it's more than mainstream. We don't even buy anything but EVs. That doesn't really solve the problem, and that's what we're looking at. So problem in cities all around the world is congestion, where cities want to implement policy restricting car traffic, and EVs is not solving congestions. Neither really do CO2, and they also bring up charging issues. And micromobility is becoming a popular part of an alternative for urban transportation, but they have both safety issues and limited capacity, and also weather issues. And what we've done is taking and making the smallest four-wheel EV in the world with about 100 kilo, which still brings the car feeling, but in the sense of Europe especially, but also coming in US, being registered as an electric vehicle or electric bike, which gives it a lot of benefits when it comes to riding for free, parking for free, not needing a driving license, and also being able to utilize car-free areas. So that's basically what we're trying to do, a high-tech, small four-wheel EV. The benefit for the cities and why we're seeing this becoming quite interesting and becoming quite an important part of policies for most cities is that we're able to take away 80% of the CO2 emission. We are able to take away 90% of the energy, 75% of the congestion, and all need for car charging infrastructure. What we made is a platform for EVs. So it's basically one flat chassis system that is almost like an IKEA system, where it's very simple to assembly, very easy to build different kind of blocks. And then we put on top of this software base that can enable this. So here's some of the models we are rolling out these days. And it includes then both B2B cargo bikes or cargo vehicles, as well as passenger vehicles. It's based upon a patent. It's based upon regulations that is in most countries, but currently then in all across Europe, but also in some of the US cities and states. We're also including software where we're building a domain controller, which is becoming AI-based software, where we customize functionality that enables it to fit for each both city, but also customers and user. And it also enables us to remotely control it, enabling similar to mobile over-the-air upgrades and then also maintenance. Due to the lightness of this vehicle, we will also be able to be the first four-wheeler vehicle that could be totally solar powered for a range of up to 50 kilometers on a daily basis. So here's a few things we developed. We have developed this for about 6 years. We launched late 2023, beginning of 2024 in low batch volumes. So you can see here both consumer versions and cargo versions being delivered to customers like DHL, Postal Services, JCDecaux, which is one of the biggest in the world in facility management, but also then into food delivery like DoorDash, Wolt, and also catering and taking care of parks, etc. It's even developed a special version for scanning and making digital twins of inner cities, here called Xenomatics. So right now we are in the early part of sales traction. but we've been sold whatever we can make this year, which is about 1 million euro in sales and 100 units. Next year, we're going to make 1,000 and selling for 10 million euro. And we already have quite a lot of LOIs and expected orders for this. So in Scandinavia, it's expected to be sold about 30% of it, Germany about 30%, and then we're talking to, or we signed a contract with Monarch and OEM in cargo bikes that's going to sell about 30% in UK. So currently market is France, Germany, Benelux, UK, and Scandinavia. We also had delivered to New York, where we have a partner and have interesting discussions with customers as well. In Asia, it's a little bit more early days, but we have signed an LOI with a company that has the ambition of selling 10,000 units, which adds up to about 50 million euro. So currently, we're making for about 1 million euro, ramping up to 10 million euro next year, and then 100 million in 2026. We're currently selling it, but it's going with also with a leasing program, vehicle as a service, and with subscription based. And the unit economics of this one is about to triple in gross margin when you go subscription based. We have a team from the automotive industry, from Daimler, from Ashok Leyland, which is one of the biggest companies in automotive in India. Also from Continental and Siemens. These are all from car industry, light electric vehicle industry, and e-bike industry. Myself coming from the software industry and competitive intelligence, and also micro-mobility sharing. Currently, about 13 people in Germany, where we're building it, and now scaling up to Hungary, where we're going to do higher volume. And also having people in England, and just establishing in India, where we have a CityQ India coming up, and where we have a lead investor that's coming into this round, building up a plant and being able to make 10,000 units per year. And that's planned happening in 2026. So right now we are in a Series A round, where we are looking for 11 million euro. 50% is already signed with lead investor in India that's taking half of it, and also one of our customers, Cinematics, taking about 10% of it. The money raised is going to be used for establishing the mass production version, so producing or preparing for producing in Hungary and then in India, and reaching profitability. We currently have partners that is doing a lot of the sales, and we're doing key account sales on our own with larger customers. And we're also offering license models, which will be part of also increasing the 10,000 per year units. So that's about it. I was just awarded a month ago as CEO of innovation in e-mobility. Quite nice to have that. Last year we were company to look for, and we've been part of community like urban mobility, and we've also been invited to clusters of cities like C40, Alexis, and others. Just next week I'm going to Paris to present for 6 cities from US, coming to Europe for a roadshow to learn about how these type of downsized vehicles can fit into US as well, and learning for what's happening in Europe in the micromobility and mini mobility show. We've also been acknowledged by McKinsey as one of the pioneers within this mini mobility area. If anyone has any questions, then yeah, this time.
I have a question. Could you talk a little bit about your competitive landscape and kind of where you're positioning your company to kind of highlight the competitive advantage of your company?
Yes. So we can define the competition in what's called cargo bikes, and the other is what we call traditional vans and smaller vans. And I think in vans, obviously, I think we've gone through a little bit of the benefits of being small and agile and avoiding congestion. If you look at it from a cargo bike point of view, there is a shift in cargo bike industry towards high tech, like we're bringing in chainless system and going from two-wheeler to three and four-wheeler, and we're seeing less three-wheeler and more four-wheeler. So currently, four-wheeler is a new trend. I'll say there's about 5 vehicles that is made in 5+ vehicles that made in four-wheeler cargo bikes. We are about 30-40% lighter than any of the others. Then also getting longer range, approximately the same, 30-40% longer range. We also get more of a car-like feeling than any of the others, the seating position. We're also the only one that's made a true platform that enables to cover multiple models, also including a passenger version. So not seeing anyone doing the same as we're doing here, and also then enabling the scalability. We could also be compared to club cars, but club cars will then be requiring a driving license and restrictions as being part of congestions.
I had a question about how this vehicle is being categorized in the U.S. You talked about going into New York but yet it doesn't require a driver's license. And, is it going to be considered a car by the government and have to meet like crash safety requirements and things like that?
So in New York, it will be a bicycle and be addressed as a bicycle with no need for vehicle plate or driving license, and will fit into the same kind of regulatory as you see in Europe as well. And that's been a process that was firstly addressed in 2021 and finalized in 2024. So it's quite a new change. We see a lot of what cities looking at the same.
Any questions from the online judges?
For me, it's okay. It's clear.
All right, any last question?
Yeah, I would love to learn a little bit more about what specific like end segments are buying these the most, and the pain points that they feel that lead them to purchasing. And a second one that I'll add on is would love to understand how the company becomes defensible over time compared to alternative solutions.
Yeah, so first of all, it's fitting quite nicely into these kind of food deliveries. So as I mentioned, like Volt, Foodora, Uber Eats, etc. It's also into facility management. If you take, for instance, food delivery, we've been seeing that it's been tested with two-wheeler. They have a need to ramp up to do stack delivery, and they're also entering to grocery deliveries. For food delivery like that, they have a portion of the fleet with these two-wheeler bikes, and they had the rest being kind of towards cars. Example like DoorDash and Foodora is saying that they want to have 10% of their vehicles become electric, and quite a bit of them being cargo bikes. They are more efficient, it's more better for the riders, and it gives a lower cost for them. That will represent about 40,000 vehicles if they want to change all of it. We're seeing that across most of the food delivery that are going towards this kind of mixed fleet of it. When it comes to become defendable over time, it's about understanding how you mature the vehicle process. So initially, it's innovation. Secondly, it's scaling. And thirdly, it's about building up supply chain and also after-sale chain. This has been... Sorry?
CityQ, thank you very much.